So I know I'm kind of late to the Black Myth Wukong guide videos, but I decided to make this video in light of the new update, adding the gauntlets, specifically the 4-monk gauntlet, where you have to fight non-pure, non-void, non-able, and non-white in a row. This fight starts you automatically at the point where his arms are freed, so you don't have to go through the first phase. I'm not sure if he has any new moves in the gauntlet specific version, but I felt like it might be helpful to make a guide. So in this video, my goal is basically to show you his moveset and tips on dodging his attacks. This is more or less if you want to skill issue him, so it won't include any spells or transformations or cheese like that. Though I do recommend the Earth Wolf Spirit for faster focus buildup. I can't promise a perfect hitless run or anything, that's up to you, but I think it should help get the ball rolling so you can learn a little bit quicker. And so without further ado, hopefully my video will help a little bit. When you load in, the battle should start something like this. These 3 moves basically never change. He starts with a Pawn of Sullivan type lunging grab attack. Then he's going to do 3 kicks at regular intervals, then start with the 4-piece punch that ends with a palm wind gust. The grab attack is pretty simple. Just when you see him lunging at you, that's when you dodge. You'll kind of get a feel for it as you go through, because he'll kind of kick your ass if you don't hit it. He can also do this attack later on, you'll just see him charge at you. Overall, not really too much to this move. The 3-hit kick move is one of his core moves, and because of its normal intervals between each kick, it's pretty easy to dodge as well. You'll see him spin, and that's when the kick comes. He also use this move far away sometimes when it won't even hit you, so if you know the intervals, you can even use it to gap pose on him, and use it to perfect dodge and build up focus. And provided you're close enough, he'll follow this up with the downward punch move. This is another one of his core moves. It hits 4 times, so once when he throws the punch with his right hand, then the 3 hits come from his left palm. And it's pretty telegraphed too, since you'll see him raising his right arm high above his head, aiming downward. And as provided you can dodge the first 2 punches, the rest of the 2 he actually spends standing still because it's wind coming out of his palm, so you can use this chance to get a couple hits in on him. In other moves, he has this drop kick attack that he rarely uses, at least in my experiences. He mainly uses it when he's far away, but occasionally he'll use it close to you as well. This does hit you while you're in the air, like if you're in pillar stance or smashing stance with the 4th focus bar, so just be aware, but overall this move is pretty easy to avoid just by staying close to him. One move you have to be careful for is what I call this Palm Gale attack, where he starts with 2 wind blasts out of his left palm, goes for a low sweeping punch followed by 2 low sweeping kicks. The time between the low punch and the first low kick is a little delayed, so bear that in mind. But the time between the 2 low kicks is pretty much back to back. And most of the time you can make some distance between you and him if you roll backwards, since his kicks don't follow or track you. The next 2 moves start a little similar, but they end up pretty differently, so it's important to notice the difference. The first move is what I call the immediate damage pose, because he poses and it does damage immediately. This is a 4 combo hit. So he starts by posing, then does 2 palm blasts back to back, then after a big delay he does a spinning haymaker where his fist glows. Here's my recommendations for dodging this. The start is fairly telegraphed. You'll see him doing this flexing pose where the blast of air comes out, then the 2 palm blasts come out back to back. The hardest part is the big delay on the haymaker since it comes out about a second later. My recommendation to dodge is when he just starts to turn his back on you. And maybe a little bit later if you want to get the perfect dodge off, but honestly in my opinion I wouldn't push your luck too hard since it does a butt ton of damage. The second similar looking move is what I call the delayed damage pose, since it doesn't do damage on activation. Now that I'm recording and looking back, I realize he hits a different pose in this one. I thought they were the same originally, but either way, he starts posing for a second, then follows it up with 2 downward palm strikes, then dashes into 2 palm wind strikes, ending with a low sweep and a jump backwards. The things you need to watch out for are the delay between the first and second strikes, since you need to dash to get those 2 punches off. But after that you can back-to-back roll the 2 punches and the low sweeping kick, since those 3 come out in quick succession. But you really want to be proactive on the roll since that kick comes out pretty fast. I've attached a video where I don't hit it here. So I don't know if this is technically a second phase, since his arms being free is technically his second phase in the normal game, but I'll count it since his moveset kind of changes. He gets a couple new moves, but more importantly he gets some new combos where he can link together some of the phase 1 moves together, so I'll cover that briefly. Okay, so this first one I don't even know if it's new since I've only had it happen one time. But he does this double jump kick into like a Doom Fist punch. I've only ever seen it once, but he has this crazy wind up to it where it looks like he's hitting a running start. This might just be a mix-up, but I'm gonna keep it in case anyone else gets this. The new move he gets is his ground fist slam that has a surprisingly large hitbox, and then he charges up this super powerful falcon punch, I guess. At baseline, this move is a 3-hit combo. He has the most powerful strike, then a second smaller blast, and then a low sweeping strike. This punch has mega delay. It takes 3 seconds more or less between when he starts charging and the actual blast to come out. So I recommend once you see his fist from when he spins around to press dodge. The second punch is pretty quick to follow, but last strike is delayed, kind of like the third hit delayed haymaker from that immediate damage pose, so you want to dodge like that from when he first turns around. A second new move he gets is his aerial ground slam. This move only comes at the end of the combo, usually from the fist ground slam start, so you can get quite a few hits on him at the end. It's pretty simple and telegraphed move. You have lots of time to react as well. I would just say to play it safe and anticipate that every fist ground slam combo ends with this, that way he doesn't catch you off guard drinking a gourd. The biggest mix-up of Phase 2 is that he can now combo new moves into his old moves, especially from the fist ground slam, like extending his combo chain into other moves like the 3 kicks, the palm gale attack, or whatever he wants. In this example, he starts with the palm gale attack, but instead of ending, he transitions into 3 kicks, and then ends on an aerial ground slam. In this other example, he starts with the fist ground slam, does the 2 fist blasts like normal, but then transitions into the 2 sweeping low kicks from the palm gale attack, and then into the 3 kick attack, so just be aware that these combos can get somewhat long. I would just recommend keeping your guard up until he returns to his neutral state, which should give you enough time to drink a gourd if you need to. Just some final advice, since he has no aerial attacks really, aside from the 1 drop kick, any kind of attack that can move you up, like smashing stance, pillar stance, or transformations like Afromana Bat can help you get more damage. Some of his moves, like the posing moves and the fist ground slam, also have pretty long charging times and are easily telegraphed, so you can use that time to get a charge attack in and break his poise. Overall, I hope this video was helpful. Maybe it wasn't, but hopefully it's at least informative and you learned something. I'm debating whether I want to make other videos on other bosses, but I'm not sure because it's kind of a lot of work. Anyways, that's it. Bye.